Shalom. Call Halam La Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Haracha'a Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth in sincerity. They steered us well and they rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. May the blessing of election be upon your house. This is the brother Zion Amawan coming at you with another lesson to feed the lambs through the Holy Spirit. Haracha'a Kodash. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and to the point. All right. And in this lesson, we're going to get into hitting the comment board. You know, today we just hitting the comment board. I did a lesson. It was like a re-up from like a couple years ago. I was just going through my old videos and I thought this would be a good one to re-upload. So I uploaded it. It was going into who will guide you in Babylon. Is it going to be Yahweh Shema Shai, or is it going to be Esau Edom and his beast system? Like, which one are you going to let guide you? And I was going into how we have to be navigated by wisdom, right? So I seen this comment a day ago. Like, I didn't even want to do a video on it. But as I was reading it, I'm like, you know what? I'm probably going to have to do a video on this. Now, there's this guy, James Cooper, 3644. I don't know if he is a Jake or not, but probably a Jake. He just sounds like a rebellious nigga, man. All right. And when I went on his page, he got some OB Trice featuring Nate Dogg, the setup. All right. So he might be an agent. But anyway, I have this comment. There's really two of them. I'm just going to run it through and then we'll give some precepts and call it. It say, I'm sure your intentions are good. I don't need rules being told when, what, how high, how one should behave, how to dress. So basically this individual wants to live life like how they want to. All right. Basically the law, statutes, and commandments are null and void in this person's life. So let him be filthy still, man. All right. If you don't, who cares, man? All right. We are here for the hopeful elect. We are not here to, teach you niggas. All right. We here to rebuke you niggas. We are going to teach the hopeful elect. And when you follow the law, statutes, and commandments, you will actually be a better person. But this is a rebellious Israelite. It sounds like a rebellious Israelite. Sounds like a 12-year-old child who is about to become a teenager. As an adult who has knowledge of self, I am the sole controller of myself. So obviously you don't have a knowledge of self. All right, because you're thinking inside of a nigga box. All right, and you can't even think outside that nigga box. And when you so-called have a knowledge of self, you are going to be in a bigger nigga box. All right, of all junk wisdom that don't have nothing to do with salvation, that don't have nothing to do with anything, just unnecessary matters. You just want to be rebellious. All right. But the Lord doesn't mind waiting to punish you, though. That's the thing. He doesn't mind. All you doing is adding sin onto sin, doing things that isn't profitable onto yourself. That's all you're doing. I decide everything for myself. Oh, okay. We're going to prove all of that. Matter of fact, let's just get it. Okay? Let's just get it. Because this guy, he got the game messed up. You understand? This guy has the game messed up. Let's get Hebrews. I get the blue letter. We're going to get the blue letter And then we're going to get some more precepts. Because this guy thinks he has free will. This guy thinks he is in the driver's seat. He is the controller. Okay. So let's go to Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 31. It reads, "It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power." You hear that? It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. You hear that? So it's a fearful thing, okay, to fall into the hands of the living power. Why? Because in the book of Deuteronomy, it says, see now, 32:39. See now that I, even I am he, there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. You know, my hand. Okay. It's Yahweh Shema Shah that's controlling and doing all the killing and doing all of everything. The healing, the wounding. It's up to Yahweh Shema Shah whether you understand this truth or not. You know? Yahweh Shema Shah can put a spirit of slumber on a person to the point where they don't even understand the truth and can't understand the truth. So help them Yahweh Shema Shah. The king's heart is in the hands of Yahweh Shema Shah. It's Yahweh Shema Shah that is giving those people the mindset to read your email to give you that job. For that police officer to just, let you go with a warning. Yahweh Shema Shah put the spirit on you to do certain things, man. Now, let's get that word hand right quick. And this going to be quick. This ain't going to be all day, man. Okay? Because you don't have free will. This is that word hand.
Strong's G 5495. Chayer. Chayer.
Chayer, which means figuratively applied to God, symbolizing his might, activity, and power. Right. See, Yahweh Shema Shah is in fact omnipresent and he is omnipotent, meaning that he has that he has infinite power that you can't measure. Okay. And yes, the kingdom of heaven is in fact within us. That our body is the temple. We are the church. The church is the body. The brothers, the sisters, the believers. We make up the body, starting with the prophets that's out here on the highways and hedges, bidding those into the marriage. Now, applied by God, symbolizing his might, activity, and power. See, Yahweh Shema Shah is showing his might through other people. Yahweh Shema Shah does nothing. They send people. Just like the Godfather. He does nothing. He send people. He send the underboss. And the underboss does nothing. He send people. The order gets pushed down. You see what I'm saying? It's complete order. And James Cooper is out of order. Anytime you think that you can control any and everything, like you can control your own destiny, what? It's 2026 and you still saying you can control your own destiny. You clearly have a spirit of slumber on you. You're clearly dull of hearing. Your spirit is clearly waxing gross. That's why you can't understand the truth, because you have a malicious soul. That's why Yahweh Shema Shah won't even reveal these secrets to you. You are still operating through the wickedness and through the rebellion of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. You're operating through his rebellion and through his wickedness with the YOLO spirit. So max out all your credit cards and let's see what you come up with. Okay. B, in upholding and preserving Yahweh Shema Shai is present, protecting and aiding one. You see, when you uphold Yahweh Shema Shai, the Lord is going to uphold you. Okay. But Yahweh Shema Shai is going to put the spirit on you to uphold him. The scriptures say only the election have obtained it. Only the election, no one else. And in the very next verse, it says, and the rest were blinded. You see, James Cooper, like the other masses that's outside of this circle, they all have a veil over their eyes, man. You know, he probably don't even believe that America will be destroyed. And that's the number one question that you ask a 2/3. Do you believe that America will be destroyed? That's all you need to know. Okay, they would tell you everything and you would know everything just off that one answer. And this guy want to prolong Babylon the Great. You can tell. Now I say in punishing. You hear that? In punishing. So in Jacob's trouble, let's see if the Lord not going to punish you or not. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if you're going to be scot-free and you're going to hunker down till it all blows over during the time of Jacob's trouble, man. All right. You might catch more hell. The hell that you catch, James Cooper, you shouldn't even have that name, James. You don't even know who James is and who he really is. You don't know that. It's Yahweh Shai's brother, one of them. He got two brothers that was in the truth, two brothers that was outside the truth. James is one of his brothers, and Jude is one of his brothers. And you don't sound like a brother. So I'm going to tell you that off the back. But it's in punishing. See, Yahweh Shema Shai can rise up a kingdom, all right, and make that kingdom fall. Yahweh Shema Shai can punish nations of people. Look how he doing Ham over there in Africa. You know? Look how he's doing Ishmael over there in the so-called Middle East. They eating bread and drinking hot water and banging pots together. The Lord will put you in a bind, man. All right, that you can't get out of until he say ain't no more. D, the point in determining and controlling the destinies of men. You hear that? In determining and controlling the destinies of men. And what does that fall under the banner of? The rising and falling of kingdoms and empires. Yahweh Shema Shai can rise up a kingdom and he can crush a kingdom. He can rise up a nation and you know what I'm saying, have that nation fall. Rome already fell before, and it's going to fall again. The Lord rose up Rome, and now he's going to bring Rome down again. Okay? This is the revised Roman Empire. It just got Wi-Fi. It's the same empire that Yahweh Shai got indicted in and basically was on a RICO charge with the federal government. Basically, if you want to use modern terms, Yahweh Shai was indicted on false charges. They was really hating that Yahweh Shai was pulling people from those chief priests. And the chief priest's power was at stake. And they said, oh, hell no, we got to get him out the way. So they, had Judas become a confidential informant, but it was already planned before the foundations of the earth. Judas's lot was to set up the Lord. Yahushua was even telling Judas to hurry up when you go into the account. Yahushua already knew that Judas was going to betray him. It was in Judas's lot to betray Yahushua. And there was nothing you can do about it. It was like Satan jumped on Judas. And it's up to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Read the book of Job, the 2nd chapter. You are not in control, man. Now, we finna close up. Let's get one more. And we finna be done, man. And we finna be done. Salakia. And we finna be done, man. This is on free will. We got Job chapter 33 and verse 15 through 17. It reads, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon man and slumberings upon the bed. Okay, so, if you in a deep sleep, you on some night, you got your little nightcap on and shit, and you in the bed, sleep, snoring. Yahweh Shema Shai is going to seal in your instructions of everything you going to do the very next day, period. While you think you got free will, Yahweh Shema Shai put the spirit on you to try to rebuke me on my page. Read the book of 2 Samuel, the 16th chapter, where it was Shimei was cussing out King David, calling him a murderer, basically cussing him out. And Abishai wanted to cut his head off right then and there. And King David said, let him curse. The Most High put the spirit on him to curse me, so let him curse. See, it's Yahweh Shema Shai that put the spirit on you to come up with that whack ass comment. Now, the 16th verse. Then he opened the ears of men. You hear that? Then he, Yahweh Shema Shai, openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. You hear that? So everything that you do the very next day, it was sealed in your instructions prior to, man. So you ain't in control of nothing. The Lord put the spirit on you, James. All right? To write 2 whack ass comments on an edifying video. And you didn't prove anything. You didn't even come out with scriptures. The scriptures say that if you don't speak according to this word, it's because there's no light in you. You don't have your Yahushua in you, bro. You're done. You're cooked. Literally and figuratively. Because the scriptures say those that hate me love death. Those that despise you despise me and despise the one that sent me, man. So you got a problem with Yahweh Shema Shai. But it's Yahweh Shema Shai putting the spirit on you to have a problem with Yahweh Shema Shai. See, that's the thing. See, you know what I'm saying? This going over your head. And it's so simple to understand. We got Proverbs 16:1. The preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. You hear that? The preparations of the heart, which is your mind, in man, and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. So whatever word that the prophets speak out, it is literally coming from Yahweh Shema Shai. So that comment that you are saying, it was Yahweh Shema Shai that made you say all of that. Really to mark you. Really to mark you. So you might want to repent if you're an Israelite. So all of the thoughts that's formed in your head, it's Yahweh Shema Shai that is putting those thoughts in your head for you to speak. So you don't even control what you say. You understand? Proverbs 16:9, a man's heart deviseth his own. So like a man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, directeth his steps. All right. So that means that you may be able to throw dice, but it is Yahweh Shema Shai that determines on what number it falls on, though. You see what I'm saying? Whether you gonna get 7 or snake eyes, one of the two. Proverbs 20:24, a man's goings are of the Lord. All right. How can a man then understand his own way? You hear that? A man's goings is of the Lord. Whatever you do, whatever type of journey that you're so-called on with your knowledge of self, it's Yahweh Shema Shai putting you on that path. Okay? And then you are actually walking therein, meaning that you have actually subscribed to that knowledge of self. I don't need to be told what to do. I have everything lined up. Okay, so where are you at in the scriptures? You got the right name, but the wrong spirit, James. All right? A man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? Right. So how can you understand your own way? And you are in captivity and you don't own a bitch ass nothing. You understand? You don't own shit. You are not in a position to be making decisions for nations of people. So what type of knowledge of self do you have that kings have used and, and nations have prevailed with your mindset? With a mindset like that, that's why Babylon is falling suddenly. That's why your lovely America is failing. This is a failing society with mindsets like you. That's not a king mindset. That's a nigga mindset. That's why I say that you think in a nigga box. And it's Yahweh Shema Shai that is literally determining and controlling your destiny. Because maybe Yahweh Shema Shai got a spiritual bone to pick with your ass, man. Proverbs 21:1, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. Right. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. And as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Right. It's up to Yahweh Shema Shai to put the spirit on DJT to bomb Iran tonight at 8 p.m. It's up to Yahweh Shema Shai. And if Yahweh Shema Shai don't want him to hit the button, he ain't going to hit the button. It ain't up to DJT. It ain't up to you. It's up to Yahweh Shema Shai. That you see how we keep running across that word hand? It is into determining and controlling the destinies of men. If the Lord wants the missiles to drop now, it will happen. But there's things that has to happen first. The MOTB has to get implemented mandatory first. The MOTB is going to justify the missiles being dropped. The RFID microchip in a mandatory cashless society, that is going to justify the missiles. And then that's when you can start counting them Sabbaths down. Because the Lord is really on the way. You see? Jeremiah 17:10. It say, the Lord searcheth the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. You hear that? It's Yahweh Shema Shai that search your heart. And the Lord is going to test your faith, your integrity, your moral character, your virtue, all of that is going to get tested. All right, by the enticement to sin through the outward circumstances. All right, especially in the time of the MOTB when your back is against the wall and your stomach is touching your back. A lot of people gonna take the MOTB in the name of eating, drinking, giving in the marriage, going back to so-called normal. Just like how they tried to do during 2020 and motherfuckers still ain't normal. You probably got vaccinated, James. Sirach 18:3. Who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all the things obey his will. For he is the king of all, by his power, dividing holy things among them from profane. You hear that? You can even go back into Romans, the 9th chapter, the 21st and 22nd verse, that the Lord is the potter and he has power over the clay to make a vessel unto honor and one unto dishonor. Yahweh Shema Shah can make you for salvation, or he can make you to fucking destroy you. By determining and controlling the destinies of men by the rising and falling of kingdoms and empires. Point blank period. You really think that the Egyptians, like, think about it. You really think that the Egyptians, and they were very proud, a very proud people. You really think they'd be calling themselves Sudanese today, clicking when they talking and stuff, living in doo-doo huts with fucking spears, jumping up and down like a fucking kangaroo? You really think that they really honestly thought that they were going to be at that point? They thought their dynasty was going to last forever and forever, ever, beyond ever. But Yahweh Shema Shah brought them all the way down and, put them in fucking Sudan, and now they crusty and musty, busted and disgusted, trife with that life. You think the Lord can't do that to you? Now Yahweh Shema Shah about to visit Edom and bring them all the way down. Same way that he just did the Egyptians. He gonna do Esau that way too. He gonna visit Esau. Esau haven't been judged yet. They haven't been judged as a nation like how Jake been judged as a nation. Not at all. But it's gonna happen. And when it happens, it's gonna be worth it. Payback is a dog. I got Ecclesiasticus 33:13. As the clay is the pot in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure. You hear that? We are the clay. The heathens are clay too. You got the elect and the 2/3, they clay. The heathen, man, woman, and child, they're clay. But you have a potter. And that potter fashions and forms that clay into honor or dishonor. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand controlling and determining the destinies of men. You hear that? Of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best. You hear that? So the point been made. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shema Shah control any and everything. All right? They even control the destinies of men. They control your mind and what you say, how you move, everything about you. You're like a robot. Watch the movie The Truman Show. You are literally in The Truman Show. Your own little Truman Show. All right? And this is Yahweh Shema Shah's movie. And each individual life is a different scene in this movie, compiled into the final scene when Yahweh Shah come back and get his elect. All right? And burn up 2/3 pursuant to Zechariah 13:8. you know? So Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. I want to give infinite honors, praises, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect. We on the next one. Abaratazai. Shalom.